Koe maailman parasta balettia Olavinlinnassa 11. elokuuta.
Tervetuloa kauppakeskus Prismaan. Uudistetulta palvelutiskiltä saat aina tuoreet kalat ja salaatit. Lisäksi voit valita oman grillimme valmistamat kana- ja lihatuotteet. Laadukkaat tuotteet ja asiantuntevan palvelun löydät Sokoksesta keskeltä kaupunkia. Yksi pysähdys, kaikki palvelut. ABC Savonlinna.
Tervetuloa kesämakasiiniin. Minä olen Aino Aktee. Saimaa ja sitä ympäröivä luonnon ihanuus sykähdyttivät minua jo vuonna 1912, kun järjestin Olavinlinnaan ensimmäiset oopperajuhlat. Rakkaat ystävät, viihtykää kauniilla Saimaan seudulla, joka tänäkin kesänä hemmoittelee kulttuurin ja matkailun ystäviä suuremmoisilla elämyksillä.
Helmer Fiore, welcome to the interview. You are the conductor here of Peter Grimesin and as well the music director of Norwegian opera.
Right.
Can you tell first about the opera? What is this like? The Norwegian opera.
Well, we're very lucky because we got a new opera house it'll be 4 years ago, that it opened. In the spring of 2008, it finally opened its doors, and around that time they were also, looking for a music director, and I was just finishing up my time in Düsseldorf and Duisburg because I was the music director of the Deutsche Oper am Rhein for 10 years, and they were about to go through a change of administration, and it was also time for me probably to, do something else. 10 years in one place is a long time, so. I was very interested in the new house, and I was invited up to do a concert performance of Götterdämmerung. So I came and I did that, and then they basically invited me to become the music director, which was great. And also it's interesting because I'm actually half Norwegian. I'm American, of course. I was born in New York, but my father's side is all Italian. That's where the Fiore comes from. And my mother's side is all Norwegian, which is the Halvorsen side, except her father's name is Helmer, and that's my middle name, which I never used before until I went to Norway, and now I use my middle Norwegian name too, just to let everybody know I'm half Norwegian. So I'm John Helmer Fiore this time when I come here. But no, it's wonderful to work there. The house is beautiful. Of course, it's architecturally a masterpiece. It's a beautiful theater, has wonderful acoustics. It's a very comfortable theater to sit in and watch things, and very modern, and it's a wonderful place to work. Nice people and nice atmosphere, very enthusiastic public, and the place is almost sold out every night, which is wonderful. Even, I was mentioning even something as modern as Lulu, I think it was full almost every night, 10 times, which is really something. Yeah.
This is not the first time that you are visiting Savonlinnan Opera Festival.
No, actually it's my third. The first time I came here was in 1998. And I was actually conducting in the festivals a new production of Forza del Destino, which I did, and that was wonderful. Yeah, it was great.
Covent Garden.
No, that wasn't Covent Garden. Covent Garden actually came that year, and they did Peter Grimes on tour. Yeah. I remember watching a rehearsal of it, but no, I was actually in the festival itself. It was a production by Michael Hampe, and Salminen was in it as Padre Guardiano. Unfortunately, I couldn't do the year after because I had some conflict with dates. I would have come back gladly and done it some more, but I ended up coming back again in 2002 because they asked our company in Germany, the Deutsche Oper am Rhein, to come. And what's interesting about the Deutsche Oper am Rhein is that it's actually two cities. There's the main city, Düsseldorf, which is the bigger city, and then the next city over named Duisburg, which has its own orchestra. So basically the Deutsche Oper am Rhein is like a big blanket that covers up two theaters. There's one chorus that goes between the two places, one set of soloists, but they're two orchestras. So when we came that year, we wanted to, do two big pieces, two very standard German repertoire pieces, Meistersinger and Rosenkavalier. And the idea was to bring both orchestras, because Meistersinger itself is like playing two operas. So the Düsseldorfer played the Meistersinger and the Duisburger played the Rosenkavalier, and I thought, well, come on, I'm the music director of the house, which is both orchestras, and they're both pieces I love. So I said, I'll just do them both. Of course, it's kind of crazy, because when you realize that Meistersinger is 5.5 hours long, and Rosenkavalier is a good 4, and then I did it 6 nights in a row. Including 2 dress rehearsals 2 nights before, so I guess it was really 8. Well, I was 10 years younger then. I don't know if I could still do that, but maybe. I don't know. But it was fantastic. I loved it. It was a wonderful time, and now it's been 10 years, and here I am again, music director of another company, and I'm not doing all the evenings this time. I was thinking about it. I was thinking of doing it, but I wanted to give somebody else a chance, and also the fjerde nattevaktin's been slightly revised, and the conductor, Rolf Gupta, has been working very closely with the composer, and it gave them more time to do that, and I thought that was right. And I wanted to also concentrate on the one piece that I'm doing, and it's a wonderful piece because it really shows off so much of what we can do. I mean, it's a fantastic piece for the orchestra. I'm very proud of my orchestra, because my orchestra has really risen up so much in the last few years into a great orchestra, and I'm very, very proud of them. And it's also wonderful for the chorus, because the chorus sings, it must be 75% of the pages of the opera that the chorus is present. And there's so much chorus singing in this opera. It's just unbelievably complicated, difficult music. And we have a terrific chorus, and I'm really excited that they can come here and show off what they do. And it also has wonderful parts for the soloists, and also our situation with, at least for the opening, that we were lucky enough to have a second tenor with us named Niels Harald Sørdal, he's a wonderful artist, and we've done a lot of wonderful things together. And he had actually, done some of the Peter Grimes performances in the house, and the fact that he was already coming here to be in the fjerde nattevaktin and happened to be able to step in for Henrik Engelsviken, who's become sick, is amazing. So he's going to do what I did last time. He's going to sing every night, and I'm only conducting every other night, but Niels Harald will sing every night.
How good would you describe the music of Peter Grimes, or somebody who hasn't ever heard that?
Well, I mean, the thing is with Britain is somebody, it's in some ways like Wagner, where the whole experience comes together, the music, the words, the drama, the movement, and it's a real Gesamtkunstwerk kind of composer, somebody where it all fits into one thing. On the other hand, this score has some of the most wonderful orchestral interludes in it, and you can actually play them separately, and they are done in concert. Sometimes the 4C interludes are played, but one of the greatest pieces for me is also this Passacaglia in the second act, which comes after the quartet of the Four Ladies, which is probably some of the most beautiful music in the world, and it's an incredibly powerful piece that the orchestra has. And this is in some ways, it's a very grand opera, even though some of the subject matter is very intimate. It has very intimate scenes also with Peter and the apprentice, and very personal moments, but it also has these huge moments with full orchestra and full chorus going, full blast, and it's very exciting. It's a huge amount of range in this piece between the intimate scenes and the even chamber music-like moments to these vast, enormous, overwhelming orchestral climaxes and choral climaxes.
This is one of the most popular modern opera in the world.
Yeah, it's very accessible. I think the music is, even though it's not that modern, it's very tonal, but it's still, it has its own language, and it's accessible somehow, and it grabs onto you. And also I think it has a lot to do with the colors in the orchestra and the way the chorus is used. It's very, very powerful, and also very exotic somehow, the way the sounds are. Maybe exotic's not quite the word. Well, I'll think of another word.
But did it help you to conduct here Peter Grimes? I mean, the previous times you have been conducting here at Portland, so you know how the castle.
Yeah, I know how the castle is. Well, it's also good that, it's always good when you come on tour here to have played the pieces a lot, so that, they've been performed a lot and they're very settled, and everybody knows pretty much what they're doing. Of course, you have to make adjustments because the acoustic is different, and the positions are going to be slightly different than your own stage, and you have to make certain compromises here because of the space.
the beat is not very normal.
I mean, it's a little long, but it's okay. The first thing you have to do is just basically, get used to the sound. It's interesting. The last pieces I did here were Meistersing and Rosenkampel, which were very romantic. And the Peter Grimes, even though it has a romantic sweep, it's a very precise piece, and it's very angular in certain ways. So everything is very precisely placed, and things need to be, coordinated very clearly. And so it's something that you have to get used to the acoustic a little bit, because you just when you're at a different stage, people hear things differently, and then they hear things they're not used to hearing in different places, and there might be an echo here that they're not used to, and so. But it's good that we had it very well rehearsed already, so that you can make the adjustments. And when you come and have a chance to rehearse, you say, be careful here, this place, and watch this and watch that. And of course, we've had to make some adjustments about where the choruses and drums. There's some drums in this piece that come from off stage, and organs and things like that. You have to make some adjustments and get used to how it's going to sound, and hopefully it all works. And there are bigger distances to travel from backstage, because if you're climbing up those stairs or going off, you have to time things differently.
And for singers and choir, it's difficult because you really must rely on your eyes, not in what you are hearing, because there's such a delay.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's a good thing to do anyway, in any stage. But it is hard in some ways to not be able to always sing with what you hear. Yeah. Because one's natural tendency, of course, is to want to sing with what you hear, and that's depending on the theater and the distances. You have to, be flexible about that.
Now you have some orchestral rehearsals as well. What is the feeling of the whole company, or how do you feel about the premiere?
Well, I mean, I had a few orchestra rehearsals in Oslo to refresh the piece. And I'm extremely pleased with the orchestra and where they're playing just wonderfully. And it's a great piece to show the orchestra, because it's so well written and it's so brilliant, some of the writing. And it's wonderful when you are able to do a piece a few times. I mean, we had it premiered more than a year ago, and then we had a revival of it, and now this is the third time around. So each time you can add on what you've done and bring up even more detail and get even more out of it, I think.
Well, thank you for the interview, John Helmer Fiore.
Yes, thank you. Kiitos.